everybody, I'm Christy. This is my craft room. Welcome to Christy's Craft Room. Thank you everybody for joining. Today we are going to do a fun craft with all things that I already had in my house or in my craft room. So give me just a minute. I'm going to get hooked up on the computer so I can see who is here and see the comments. If you are here, then make sure you shout out, say hi to me so I know you're here. Oh, let me get this pulled up. There we go. All right, I think I got it. All right, so today, what we are going to do is we are going to make a craft. Like I said, all of these things are things that I already had in my house or in my craft room. A lot of things left over from other projects that I've done in the past. And a lot of these things you might already have too. So we will get started. I'll kind of move everything out of the way. The first thing we're going to work with is our frosted glass. I don't know how many of you have used this before. I was really scared and intimidated the first time I was going to do this. And I'll tell you, it's not scary. It's super, super easy. It's easier than any spray paint that you will ever use. We'll set the lid out of the way. Now, I don't advise doing this in your house normally. I do have two big windows that are wide open here for lots of ventilation. My husband will probably yell at me when he sees this for doing this inside. But it's a craft room. It's meant to get messy. It's okay. So first, you're just going to hold it probably just 12 inches or so away from the jar. This is just a spaghetti jar. It's kind of like the extra large size that you'd get at like Sam's Club, or I think even like Walmart carries this size. A large pickle jar would work. In the past, we've done projects like this with the lights in it that you can buy the glass blocks from like Hobby Lobby or Michael's. Those run anywhere from like $10 to $12. You can get them on sale with the coupons, but I already have this. It doesn't cost me anything, so I figured, why not? Let's do something a little different. So first, you'll start by just spraying this. You just go back and forth in just a, continuous motion. And just keep spinning it around. And you're just going to get that frosted look. I like it with about 2 coats of coverage. One just isn't quite enough. I'll go around it again. Make sure you get around that top edge and the bottom edge. Hi everybody, I see everybody saying hi, I appreciate it. Rhonda, Sharon, Virginia, hi, how are you? Thank you. Craft room's been a long process. It's kind of still a work in progress, but it is great, and I love to spend time in here, and I can't keep my 11-year-old daughter out of here either. She loves to be in here, and I think she makes more messes than I do. So let's see, who else do we got? We got Janet, Rhonda. Welcome everybody. Thanks for joining. Thanks for sprinkling the love. And if any of you don't know what that means, that is, I first heard it with, I think, Lizzie and Aaron. When you sprinkle the loves, it means you're sharing it. So I really do appreciate it if you share it. Share it on your page, on any other groups or pages that you follow that are, crafty. Tag your friends that you think might enjoy this project. All right, so I think that's pretty good coverage. You can kind of see it's nice and frosted. All right, I'm just going to set that aside for just a minute. And next I'm going to take the lid, and I just have a cream spray paint here that I'm going to cover the lid with. It doesn't really say a color, but it's just this kind of, satin white chiffon. Just like a creamy color. So I'm going to cover the lid. Make sure you get the edges. And let that sit there to dry for a minute. And then next, I have this little wooden leaf. I got this at Michael's. They're 39 cents. If you catch it when their wood stuff is on sale, like 40% off. I think I paid 26 cents for this. And it's just a little wooden leaf. So I'm just going to put a really light coat on both sides just to kind of cover up that natural wood. All right. The Frosty spray, Rhonda was asking where I got that. This particular one I got at just the hardware store that we have right in town. We have a Lumberjack right up the road. I bought this there. They do also sell it, I know, at Michael's. I believe Joann's and Hobby Lobby have it as well. Almost any hardware store or craft store should have this. This is the Rust-Oleum brand. I think Michael's carries a different brand, but I've used both, and they both work really well and are super, super easy to use. And you don't need much. It goes a really long way. This is actually left over. We did a craft night, and we did the square blocks, and we sprayed a bunch of those, and this is what I have left over from that. So it goes a really long way. Works really well. All right. Let's see. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on my bow. While this stuff kind of sits and dries, I'm going to work on my bow that's going to go on top. And this bow, I mean, it's kind of a standard bow on one sense, but I got some tricks and tips from watching Lizzie and Erin on how to cut the little edges so that you kind of get a nicer finish. So I will share that with you. 2, 3, and I'm going to do it so that I have 3 flaps on each side so that I can have 3 little loops on my big part of my bow. And it doesn't really, I mean, you can kind of eyeball the size. This is probably about, I don't know, probably 7, maybe 8 inches. And you're just going to sit that down to the side. And then I'm going to take another, I just have this burlap ribbon here. And this ribbon is also ribbon that I had left over from another project. I believe these both came from Hobby Lobby at some point. And this one here, I'm just going to make it so that there's 2 loops. And make it just a little bit shorter than this one. So I'm going to do 2 loops around. Thank you for sprinkling the love, everybody. I appreciate it. And for you, those of you that don't know, that are just popping in and seeing this, this is my first live ever. So I'm pretty excited. This is something I've wanted to do for a very long time. And my niece, Erin, is actually one half of Lizzie and Erin. And we found each other in the spring. Her mom is actually my oldest sister, and she was adopted out when she was just a baby. And we've known about them since I was a young girl. And as my sisters and I got older, we spent a lot of time looking for our oldest sister. And unfortunately, you know, we didn't have any luck. We kind of hit a lot of roadblocks. Spent hours on databases, you know, adoption databases, looking for any clue. We couldn't find anything. Well, my sister and I went and both got my sister Kelly. She did it first, and then I did it. We got our DNA test through Ancestry DNA, and results came back, nothing. We didn't find anything. And Susie, I guess, asked, my oldest sister, asked for the Ancestry DNA kit for Christmas last year. And her husband got it for her, so she sent it in, and she kind of just wanted to find her, you know, where she came from, you know, what her heritage is. And she found us. So after many, many, many years of searching, we found our sister. So they made a trip up here. Her husband, and her 3 daughters all came up here, and that is when Erin and I first met. And we hit it off right away. We talked crafts and projects, and Erin kept telling me, you should do it, just do it, just, you know, just go for it. And, you know, I took a little longer than maybe I should have, but here I am. This is my first video, thanks to Erin encouraging me. All right, so what I did was, when I laid that out, I just cut a little notch in the edge, just right on the edge of the larger bow. And then I just took a piece of this twine and I wrapped it around and tied it. So now it's all secure together. So now I'm going to take another piece of this one and I'm going to cut it about double the length of my bow. I'm going to cut that. Set that aside. Thank you, Janet. I appreciate it. Yes, lots of Lizzie and Erin fans on here. I love to see you all. Thank you all for coming and checking it out. I know it's a great story and I love to share it because, you know, I know there's so many other people who have that same story as ours and are looking for family members, and just don't give up. Just keep looking. When the timing is right, you're going to find each other. And for us, it's been an amazing, very amazing experience. We all hit it off quite well. They actually came back up this summer, their whole family, and they camped with us, or most of them. They camped out at our reunion, and we just had an amazing time. So it's definitely been a blessing having Erin and the rest of the family back with us where they belong. All right, so I just tied that piece around. Now I'm going to cut another piece of the thinner ribbon. Same thing, about double the length of my bow. Can you guys see this okay? Am I close enough where you guys can see what I'm doing here? Let me know if you can't see anything. All right, so now this one, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to wrap it around the bow, and I'm going to tie it in the back. And that will give me my second set of tails. Now, if you want some good tips on making bows, go to Lizzie and Erin's page and just search bows. They have some great tutorials on how to do bows and really go into detail and the different tips. And it just gives you a nice clean look when you cut those little snips in there. So now we have our bow. All right, and we're just going to open it up. Fluff it up a little bit. All right. Hi, Erin. Hi, Janet. Oh, Janet sees Erin. All right. Glad you can see. Thanks for letting me know. So once we get the bow all fluffed up, you can play with it how you want. And you can do as many loop layers as you want. The more you do, the fuller bow it's going to be. But I think that will work just fine for what we're going to do. So now I'll set this aside and move these over. I'm going to bring my jar back in here. This stuff dries super, super fast, really fast. I mean, it's really dry already. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I've got a couple leaves here. These just came from a little leaf garland that I had, and I just plucked them off. I found that when your leaf has this little plastic on the back, it does not lay very flat. So if you just peel that off, usually they peel off quite nicely. See, just take that off, toss it aside, and then your leaf will lay a little flat, a little more flat. So now, I like the frosted look, but I think it's a little boring. So I'm gonna take these leaves. Can you see okay there? All right, we're just gonna lay the leaf here. This is where I'm gonna put a glove on. Otherwise, I'm gonna have spray paint all over my hands. And I have someplace I need to go tonight, and I really don't want to go with spray paint covered hands because we all know spray paint on the fingers can be a pain to get off sometimes. All right. So I'm going to kind of put that in place there. This is very random. Just kind of stick it on there anywhere, and you're just going to spray. Remove these. Thank you. Sharon says she loves the bow. Erin, hi Erin, so excited to see what you're creating. I hope it turns out wonderful. All right, so we're just gonna spray. It helps if you kind of take your thumb and hold it in place just to get it started. And then you're going to move that. And then it's going to leave you with the outline of your leaf. So then we're just going to add another leaf. And we're going to continue to go randomly around your jar. And just move the leaf around. And just spray right around the edges. And I just have 2 different leaves here. You could do the same leaf all the way around, or you can use, you know, as many as you want, different ones. And you want to have a little bit open so that you can see we're going to have lights inside the jar. So you want that light to be able to shine through. Another one there. And if your leaf moves, it's not a big deal. This is kind of one of those projects that it doesn't have to be perfect. It's not going to be noticeable to anybody if your leaf moves or you have, you know, a leaf that's kind of half sprayed over. It's okay. All right. Has anyone ever made one of the blocks with the lights in it before? We actually did it in a craft night, and we had so many people that did it, we ended up having to have 2 separate days of crafting because we didn't have room for everybody. All right. So I think that looks pretty good. You can kind of see, I don't know, with the lighting it might be hard to see, but you can see the leaves showing in there. So we'll set that aside. And we'll bring our leaf and our lid back over. Take the gloves off. All right, I have just some regular craft paint. This is from Michaels. It's, I want to say 59 cents or something like that, I think I paid. But it's just paint I had in my collection. One is pure pumpkin and the other one is light orange. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a brush. I'm going to put just a little bit. I'm going to start with the lighter, which is the light orange. And you want to only have a little bit on your brush. And then you're just going to, you see that? Just going to dry brush that on. You're not going to do a full thick coat. Just kind of brush it on. Let some of that cream keep showing through. Don't forget to get the stem up there. So it'll kind of look like that. And then I will take some of my darker orange, which is the pure pumpkin. And we'll do the same thing, just a tiny bit. You don't need much. Kind of brush some of the extra off. And then you're just gonna, just to add a little more color, you're just gonna brush and kind of blend that in. Get the stem. There we go. All right, so then that's our leaf. We're gonna set that aside, let that dry, and then we're gonna do our lid, which is already dry from the spray paint. All of this dries really fast. I was gonna bring my heat gun in here, but I couldn't find it in my husband's garage. Looked and looked. So I brought my hair dryer just in case, but I didn't even need to use it. So we're just gonna kind of brush around and kind of do just a light coverage, just like we did. Get around your edges. All right. And then I'll go with the darker color, get a little bit more on there. Hi, Lizzie. Lizzie's here too. Hi, Kimberly. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming. Thanks for sharing. For those of you that are joining in that were not here at the beginning, we are making a little fall decor that is going to be this jar that we just used some of the frosted spray on it first. Let that dry. We did about 2 coats worth. And then we took our leaves and we placed them on there and just spray painted this light cream color over it. So then you kind of get that frosted glass look where you can see the leaves. And then we're going to put lights in it. So we're going to set this aside to dry. We're going to bring our jar back over. I'm going to take a piece of twine, bring it around the top edge of the jar, tie a little, just a single tie. I'm going to bring our leaf up here, just going to put it right in there and tie it on. Just adds a little accent to your jar. A little pop of color. And you could even do other colors. You could add reds in there, browns. You could make your leaf as bright and colorful as you would like. All right, Erin, you are in your element. You look great. Thank you, Erin. Oh, Jenny from Kentucky. Welcome. Looks good so far, Cassie says. Excited to see how it comes out. I'm curious to know where everybody's from. So let me know where you're from. We got Jenny from Kentucky. I don't know if you guys know, but I'm in Michigan. And it is full on fall weather here. The leaves are starting to change. They're starting to fall off the trees. All right, so now we've got that. I'm just going to leave these little edge pieces of twine on here. I think it's kind of cute. I might trim them a little bit after I get my bow on. But that's where we're at so far. Now next step is we're going to take these lights. These lights here, these particular ones I got at Hobby Lobby. I did look at the dollar store. They didn't have them yet this year. I know last year at Christmas time, they had the battery operated ones. When we did our glass blocks, and you can do this exact same thing with the glass block that already has the hole drilled in it. You can get it at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. But this doesn't have the hole in it, and I didn't want to mess with drilling the hole, and it can be done. We've done it before. I just didn't want to mess with it. So I have the battery operated lights. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the end. I'll turn them on so you can see. I like white. If you want to use colorful, or if you want to do a Christmas theme one and use multicolored lights, that is perfectly fine. Whatever your preference is. That is a great thing about crafting that I love about it is when we would have our craft nights here, we're just going to feed them in and then add a little bit of raffia. This kind of just holds it into place, kind of keeps the lights from sinking to the bottom. And I kind of like the way it casts shadows inside the jar. But we would have craft nights here and we would all be doing the same thing, but they would all end up looking different by the time we were done because everyone just added their own creative spin to it. We've got Lizzie from Texas, Vicky from Mayorstown, Pennsylvania, Rhonda's from Texas, people from all over, Erin in Washington, love it, thanks Lizzie, North Carolina, I love it, we got people from all over. So we'll feed some more lights in and then feed a little bit more of the raffia until you get it all in there. And what I'm going to do is, so that my lights don't sink all the way down into the bottom of the jar, I'm going to take my hot glue gun and I'm going to glue the block right to it so I can sit it down in there. When I want to turn it off, I just take the lid off, turn them off. When I turn it on, I take the lid off, turn it back on. All right. Grab my hot glue gun. All right, my hot glue gun is, I saw on some of Erin's posts, her hot glue gun's been giving her a hard time. Mine's giving me a hard time too. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't want to. I think I need to invest in a new one. So I'm just going to glue this right to the top there. I'm going to let it sit here and set well before I put it on. All right, move this stuff. Let's see. Oh, we got North Carolina. Welcome, everybody. It's exciting seeing so many people from all over. I know we have a lot of people from Michigan on here. They're just not chiming in. I see them on here. They're just not saying anything, I guess, because they're from Michigan. They figure I already know. All right. Just going to let this set. My hot glue gun is extremely hot, and I think that's my problem. I think it overheats, and then my glue gets gooped up in there if I leave it sitting for too long. So let that set for a minute more. But you can see, can you guys see all right? I know the lighting makes it hard to see sometimes. Let me get rid of these comments here so I can see. There you go. So you can see the lights, you can see the raffia kind of shadowing through a little bit, see all the little leaf cutouts there. All right, so we can just take the lid. So now see, our battery pack is right there. We can easily flip it off and on whenever we want to. And you don't have to worry about cords. You don't have to worry about putting it someplace where you have to plug it in. That is the best part about the battery packs, is you don't have to be close to an outlet and don't have the cords. All right, so there is that. Now we're going to take our bow. We're going to put it right on top here. And I'm going to hot glue that right into place. Hello? Oh, my son is home.
Oh, you're doing a video.
I am. He says, oh, you're doing a video. I kind of gave him a warning before he left. I said, if we come home around 1 o'clock, I'm going to be doing a video, so don't be too loud. Oh, there he is. This is my...
Where's the kid? Oh.
This is my son, Jacob.
Very cute son, single. I'm just kidding.
Very cute son and single, he says. So, very, very nice boy. He is one of I have 3 boys. He is my second. I'm going to glue this right into place here.
And she's the most crafty person I know.
You're so sweet. Thank you, Jacob. Yep, I have a 23-year-old. He is my 18-year-old. I have a 15-year-old. And then my last one is my girl. She is 11. All right. Jake, you're getting lots of likes and hearts. All right. So, there we go. We've got our bow on top. Hope you guys can see that okay. You see the leaves coming through. So this is our nice little fall craft. You could even put a little pumpkin on top or add some little leaf sprigs or anything you really want. Kind of make it your own, make it what you like. You could do different color bow to match your decor in your house. I really like the neutral. I love anything burlap and creams and neutral colors. So this is kind of done the way I like it for my house, but you guys can do it any way that you like. So, all right. So that is our craft. And just to show you again, when you're ready to turn it off, you just twist your top off, flip the switch, and put the top back on. All right. So I hope you guys liked that. I hope you enjoyed it. I would love it if you shared it. Let your friends who are crafty or would like to try something like this, share it to them. I appreciate it. I just want to say thank you to everyone who's joined the page. I just started this page yesterday, and we are, I want to say, close to 300 people following it already. And I think that is amazing. I love the support. I really appreciate it. And I'm super excited for this journey, and I just want to thank everybody who's joining this journey with me. I hope you enjoyed the craft. I hope you'll be back. I will be doing some more videos over the next couple days. So stay tuned, and we'll make some more beautiful fall things. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.